Alright guys, welcome back to Valorant News. Plenty to dive into today as the last chance qualifier for challenges continues. Team Sinatraa are still alive. They're now in the losers bracket though, and will have to win many series in a row to qualify, but it's not out of the question the way that Sinatraa was playing last night. Many other updates as well that we're going to dive into today. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. Some drama also between Marved that we'll see in just a couple of seconds time. Firstly though, on Lotus and Valorant, if it actually wants to load, officially confirmed now into the competitive pool. They've made a couple of very slight changes to the map, of course. The rotating doors are one of them. We know that the volume on those rotating doors was rather loud. They're actually going to drop the volume a little bit, which is quite an interesting change they're going to make. So the volume of those rotating doors has now been reduced. The Lotus only queue is gone. It's now in the map rotation for both unrated and competitive. So it's still a little bit unclear exactly when the challenger season starts for them, like what the map set's going to be. Is it going to be minus bind, minus breeze, plus plus Lotus, plus split, which is probably expected, but I don't believe it's actually been officially confirmed yet. We know that in the pro side that, yeah, bind and breeze are going to go, but they're still playing on bind right now for the qualifiers, right? So this is one of the questions that is there for the challenger side, because the official challenger circuit starts very shortly after these qualifiers conclude, but probably on an entirely different map set rotation. Now, this is a good note I thought from Kaplan, right? One of the coaches for Sentinels. Just leave the doors open in deathmatch. I don't really know why they have to be closed all the time and make all this chaos happen. So probably a good idea in theory. Whether Riot do that remains to be seen. Speaking of Sentinels, I thought this was maybe a bit of we've got to mention this as potential foreshadowing here. Can't believe Fnatic fans only get to watch one game this tournament. So we saw yesterday the format for the lock-in, I think they're calling it, basically the kickoff event of 2023 of the entire partnership era, will be a 32 team tournament in Brazil. I was very critical of the format, as if you guys saw the video yesterday, and Sentinels play Fnatic round 1 in kind of a randomly seeded matchup. Now the loser goes home. It's a one-off single elimination best of 3, and if Sentinels lose, they're out until the start of the the regular qualifying matches in Los Angeles. If Fnatic lose, they're out as well immediately, despite being one of the favorites to be probably the best team in the entire world, to be honest, with the roster that they have built. Now Sentinels are saying, you know what, Fnatic fans only get to watch one game. That's unfortunate for them, as in we're going to knock them out in the very first round. Now of course this trash talk has sometimes backfired in the past, because Sentinels did this, I think, to TSM in their first series they played at the Lovewood Tarek Invitational. Then they lost in the rematch, which wasn't ideal. So I mean, yeah, Sentinels at least they'll have good viewership, which I thought was pretty funny. But actually the Sentinels players, or the Fnatic players, sorry, were noticing this tweet, and Durka drops the kind of laughing emoji, and Boaster says it became personal with me. So this is the issue with Sentinels tweeting stuff like this, is that they might manifest the defeat into their own reality, because now Durka and Boaster are going to definitely remember this and take their match very seriously when they do play in less than a month's time, about a month's time, I think, actually, because they were in Group Omega, which they're calling it for some reason, over there in Sao Paulo, of course. This I also wanted to mention before we dive into the challenger stuff, a crazy story that I've never really heard of before, but Poised talking about a forearm and hand injury. This guy was a real top prospect back in CSGO, and then suffered a massive injury to his left hand, and if you guys are particularly squeamish, feel free to skip ahead like 15 seconds or so, but I don't think it's too bad, to be honest, this image. So this is him like with a cut in his hand here and the stitches that he had to have, and it really affected his ability to even feel or move anything in his left hand. After like 2 years of physical therapy that he went every single day for, he was finally able to move his left hand again, but he still can't feel anything in his fingers, which is crazy. He reckons that he is 70% of the mechanical player that he used to be. So I think he's the only player that he knows to use their keyboard hand with no feeling in his hand, right? So he can't feel how hard he's pressing the keys and stuff like this, which it must be like, I can't even imagine having to learn to play like that. But he's done so, and he knew that he wasn't quite the player as a result that he used to be, and therefore he learned how to in-game lead, and so basically a really inspirational message, I thought, to anyone who was reading that, to see that anything is really possible. And of course he's still on FaZe and trying to make them successful for this upcoming season in the challenger side, and certainly will be wishing him the best after this. It was kind of like when that BCJ documentary came out from Riot, and it was an awesome story, and everyone was kind of rooting since then for BCJ's success, and he's on Evil Geniuses now. I think kind of the same thing for Poised after coming out with this, which is not something easy to say, so thought that was a really cool story. Now let's talk about the challenger side, because this is immense. Now first of all, Untamable Beast, the clout that Untamable Beasts have is so unbelievable that I think people are actually forgetting about the other clout team a little bit in the Nation, who have also been looking very good last night. They are not far away, the Nation, of actually qualifying. They will be one of the favorites, of course, and I mean, look at this from Stu again. We're going to make this full screen actually actually, because it's just so good. 4 shots, 4 kills with the Sheriff. This, of course, the team, Stewie, Wardell, and co. He smashes tab all the time, which kind of frustrates me. But 1, 2, 3, gets to go off the bomb for the 4th as well. Nearly got the ace, of course, but got shot down in the end, as we saw a couple of seconds ago. But yeah, Stewie's been looking good. Their team is advancing through everyone they play against. Now, Untamable Beast, on the other hand, they were looking good. They went down, but they're still alive in the losers bracket. As Zekken says, why are teams playing the aim maps versus Untamable Beast? Because fair point, right? If you want to play these guys, probably play these guys on maps that require some sort of strats. But, you know, it seems like they're just playing them on, I don't know, maps like Bind and stuff. Just rush into the site and get some kills. Zoms was roasting Prod, of course, as well. And this is the crazy thing about this team, right? Is that Marved is playing on a role that he's not really comfortable with. And also, he doesn't really care that much. Zoms certainly doesn't really care that much. Sinatraa doesn't really care that much. Dizzy doesn't even play this game. And Prod is like, it's just a ranked streamer, basically. So, it's kind of funny to think about the way this has gone. But nonetheless, they're actually doing okay. And the viewership has been unreal. Now, will they qualify? I think it's doubtful. They probably go out of the tournament today, but they're still alive. And actually, they've still been doing relatively well against some decent teams. And they've beaten some decent teams as well. Now, there's some drama here because they eventually lost to Calypso. I'll show you guys the bracket here in a second. But he's on the nearest airport team, NA team, North America type thing. 2-1 versus Untamable Beast. Marved, maybe you should have hit the range. I think you were nervous. So, pretty funny stuff. Now, these guys have a bit of banter back and forth in the past anyway. So, there's a bit of, you know, tongue-in-cheek stuff here. You practice every day and won by lurking on a team with no setups. Thanks for the spot on Envy, he says. So, you know, fair enough point from Marved, right? That these guys have been grinding for weeks to try and get this, you know, to qualify for this. Marved and co just turn up, just having a laugh, really. And they're still almost beating them. Thanks for the spot on Envy, because a couple of years ago, Calypso was on Envy. And then, you know, he was part of the guys that got dropped from the team when Marved and co came in. Even Ye replies and says, yo, chill, bro. Like, maybe that was a bit too far. I'm sure they're joking around a bit, but still, the Twitter drama is undefeated in Valorant right now. North American Valorant has been popping up lately on the Twitter drama. The ratio as well is pretty immense, it's got to be said. And even Shank says, you know, question mark, chill, man, I'm kidding, let me have this one. You know, just kidding, man, well played, you already know I'm playing. So, you know, probably it's all good, but nonetheless, pretty spicy stuff. And even this I thought was funny. So Calypso replies and says, first, it was Victor that took my spot, and second, a win is a win. It doesn't matter if you win by a mile or an inch. Vin Diesel, wait till he called you trash Marge, because, yeah, I guess what he's saying there, Calypso, is actually, I didn't get dropped for you, I got dropped for Victor, so you're actually not even that good. So pretty funny stuff. We might get a rematch between these two teams. It is not out of the realms of possibility, but yeah, they are now in the losers bracket, Marved and co, and hopefully they can continue a nice run, because, I mean, man, they've been absolutely killing it so far in terms of viewership and stuff. They're not going to qualify, right? I mean, they have no setups, they have no set strats or anything. They're just running around doing things, but it's somehow working against certain teams. So this is the bracket, and as I say, the clout factor of Sinatra's team here, and I'll show you guys a clip in a second of Sinatraa getting a nice ace on buy, and actually I'll just share it for you guys right now.
Sorry, we should go B. We should go B quick, I think.
Can you peek long? Yeah, that's not gonna peek.
Breathe.
Two, right next to you, elbow.
2 elbow.
Wow, that was a good double tackle.
I'm blind. 2 elbow, we have B. They're gonna fast retake, I think.
I'm turning elbow.
I have Molly and all, I might just play bomb.
Do you have another smoke?
Yeah.
Smoke on now.
Yeah, smoke me.
This is a good smoke.
I don't think anything's flanking.
Oh, GG. You got 3.
I'm Molly elbow right now.
Oh, you're insane, huh?
Elbow, both.
Both, yeah. I can ult, I'm gonna ult elbow, yeah.
One enemy remaining.
There too. Last one's there too.
Oh my god.
Come on, watch one, you got him. Here come Jay, pick him. Go.
Sheesh!
Molly was insane.
That is different.
Good mollies on.
So the clout factor here has meant that the nation's run has kind of not exactly been getting overlooked, but it's still, you know, this is really the story to me, is that this is the nation team, which is also kind of a clout team, but not to the same degree that Untamable Beast did, of course, with Rossi, Brack, Stewie, 2K, Wardell, and Tig. They've been making good progress. They managed to 2-0 Sonics, a good result for them. They played 99 strength next, and actually a lot of the favourites going in here after their performances from week 1 are already gone from this tournament, which is actually, you know, quite something for the teams that still want want to qualify. So the Nation 99 Strength, Squirtle, Squad, YFP Gaming, Shift, Nearest Airport. This was the series. Nearest Airport versus Untable Beast, 2-1 in the end. Binds, they beat them 13-10. Pearl, they got smoked 13-1. And then Icebox was 13-11. Super close final map of the series. But Calypso and Co. get the job done in the end. The overall numbers look like this. Sinatraa was top fragging, as, with Marved as well, as has usually been the case lately. So, they did actually beat Division 0 in their first game 2-1 as well. Lots of 2-1s they've won here. They got smoked on Haven, then they won the next two maps 13-4, 13-9. So, pretty cool stuff, honestly. And they are now in the losers bracket, though. So, honestly, the teams that have advanced so far, okay, Moon Raccoons, but no one that impressive to me. Like, I would say the Nation should be solid on to qualify here because, they've got to win 1, 2, they've got to win 3 more series, the Nation, to qualify, which isn't too bad. Now, in the losers bracket, though, it's a different story. There's many more games required to qualify down here, but as I say, some of the favourites are gone. NSIC, they're already gone. They made a good run in the first week. Also, Silk Road, they made a good run in the first week as well. They're already gone. So, a lot of solid teams, and even Sonics, they're still not looking so good here. They won 2-1 here, but so many more series. Now, Untable Beast today play unfazed. This is the team of Zachary, Kanpeki, Poach, Raucous, and Pancakes. This is actually a legit team that was expected to do quite well and potentially even qualify. So these are actually a serious contender team that haven't been looking as good as we expected. But Raucous and Co against these guys, like Zoms versus Raucous, of course, they were both on Sentinels previously, Kanpeki as well. So, that is quite the matchup. Probably you've got to give favoritism there to Unfazed and Raucous and Co, but I think that Untable Beast could do the job on them. And if they do, they've got to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 series still if they want to qualify. So realistically, it's not going to happen. Their run probably ends today. But it has been nonetheless very entertaining to watch. I know a couple of you guys always point out, okay, where can you watch these guys play? There is probably an official broadcast somewhere, but most of the time, people are watching the streams of the players themselves. So either the watch parties or just Sinatra's stream or Zoms' stream or whatever, where they're playing these games on twitch.tv is usually the home to find this type of stuff. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new. Take care, and I'll see you next time.